We're recording? Good. Okay. Well, how do we start a podcast?
I have no idea. This is my first time. You got a first timer right here.
Well, I've done several podcasts. I guess we should just tell them what we're doing here, what this is about. You want to start and tell us what it's about?
Yeah. Welcome to the Heartland Comedy Cup podcast. We're going to go ahead and talk a little bit about what happened at the March 4th qualifier for the Heartland Comedy Cup and let you know who won. Tell you a little bit about us, me and Clem, how we kind of got together, and then maybe even give you some tips. Yeah. So
sounds good.
So Clem, tell the viewers at home, all of our viewers, who is Clem Jameson?
That's a great question. I've been doing comedy now since the pandemic. I started out, I challenged my kids on TikTok to see who could get the most followers of our family, just to keep them out of my hair for a few weeks. And I decided to join in just to up the ante, you know. And the winner of it was going to have to get dinner with the rest of them. So I forget what even it was, but nonetheless, like 2 weeks later, I had 5,000 followers on TikTok. And I might be able to do something with this comedy thing. And then the pandemic ended. I decided to get on stage and start doing stand up. And, I found I'm pretty good at stand up, but I'm really good with producing and, doing the tech side of comedy and the marketing, the ins and outs of the comedy business. And then, I got an opportunity to work with you with the Great American Comedy Fest, looking for volunteers for that. And I stepped up and said, you know what? I'm going to join up with these guys from the Great American Comedy Fest for selfish reasons. My selfish reasons were I really want to be full-time in comedy in a few years. And right now, the Omaha, the Nebraska, the Midwest scene just really can't support being full-time without moving to a bigger city. I wanted to bring the Nebraska, the Omaha comedy scene up to the point where I could be full-time. So that's my selfish ambition. I saw it as the Great American Comedy Fest is doing kind of the same thing. And that's how we end up meeting. We've been working together, 6-8 months on that now. And, we'll be kicking off the first one that I'm part of in June, which I'm very excited for. Great lineup. Charlie Barron's coming to headline the Saturday night. I get to open that show, which is very cool.
Oh, yeah.
And it's been really good, but I started noticing there's a lot of opportunity in Norfolk, Nebraska. This Heartland Comedy Cup, it was your initial idea. You just needed some help with the tech side of it. I jumped in right away to see if I could make something go of this.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you think about like how all the stars kind of had to align in order for this to happen. Because imagine, like, let's say, you had 15 years under your belt. Like, there's no way you would have been like, yeah, let's go ahead and work with a 1-year comic. No fucking way.
For sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought I was crazy working with you as it is,
Yeah.
I'm a very skeptical guy. And, you came in with very, very big ambitions. You came in with very, very big goals. And I thought, this guy's crazy. There's no way he's going to pull it off. That first show we did, up in Norfolk, back in the fall, you had set your goal's very high for your first show, and you pulled it off. We almost filled that room on the first show, and I'm like, this guy actually does know what he's doing. He's pretty good at getting people into a room, and I think you saw me as this guy's really good at making the show look and sound good once the people are there. It's kind of a perfect combination of the partnership here, which leads straight into the Heartland Comedy Cup. It's the best of both worlds, JSD Comedy and Low Gear Comedy working together to grow the Midwest scene. And there's big goals for both of us. I haven't found too many people in comedy that put as much time and effort into it as I do. And I definitely see that you're one of those few guys. And so that's where we're at.
Yeah. I remember a lot of like weird conversations with people over, and it could be years ago. I can be like, yeah, I remember when we were talking about that over the phone. They're like, what in the hell? That was like just BSing around. I remember I was sitting in my kitchen out here. I was talking to you. I think it was through the audio recording on Messenger. And we were just spitballing back and forth, like getting to know each other kind of thing. And I remember you were like, yeah, I need an ox that can pull. I was like, All right. I will be that dumb
Yeah.
ox.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm hitching. Well, and I think I've said this multiple times. I'm not interested in helping people who won't help themselves. If you're
Exactly.
willing to put time in to help yourself, I'm willing to hitch my wagon to an ox that'll help me pull. And I'm not
Right.
going to be sitting on the wagon driving. I'm going to be pulling right there with you, but we're going to get this moving down the road. I've used that so many times.
Yeah. Oh, and I liked your ambitions. I was like, he's a crazy fucker too. So I'm like, yeah, let's do it. Might have to bleep that one out, but
it's fine.
no, it's been great. We've done multiple shows. We did a huge FFA show just recently with Mike Baldwin. Want to speak his, praises. Oh my God. Unbelievable comics. Been doing it for over 20 years. Why this guy doesn't have a Netflix deal?
I know.
He should have one. Or something.
He won
should
the
be
Seattle Comedy Competition. 2012? He won the Seattle Comedy Competition, and every time I've seen him, he's just gotten better. This FFA fundraiser we did was, I think, the best show I've ever been a part of. The crowd was on fire. They were really into all the comics. We had the best lineup that I've ever, been on with. I mean, Tyler Walsh, Mike Baldwin, Pat. We just had this great vibe the entire night. The crowd was so into it, and it's 300 people in a gymnasium. It was, once again, big ambitions, and we pulled it off.
Oh yeah. That night was just surreal. You got Quick Draw Comedy down in Omaha at Emmett's Tavern every Sunday and Tuesday at 8:00, by the way.
That's right.
I was more nervous. I get more nervous on Quick Draw than I did at that FFA show. I don't know why. And I think it's because I just want to, I'm a new comic and I want to impress the other comics. I want to be able to be like, I can fit in with you guys. I can hang a little bit. But yeah, it was a wild night. Mike gave me a hug. I was like, well, all right. Yeah.
He gave me a compliment, so I was very happy with the compliment and no touching, so that was nice. I don't like hugs, so I'll take the compliment though. One tip that Mike did give me that night though was it wasn't about anything to do with on stage stuff, but he was like, when you're selling merch, never tell the audience that you got merch for sale. He said, always just be like, hey, go over and talk with Mike after the show. He says, because more times than not, if you tell them they got something for sale, they're not going to buy it. So there's tip one for any new guys wanting to sell merch. Don't announce it on stage. And and he was rolling through the merch that night. He was doing very well, it looked like, from what I saw. I was very very envious of how much he was selling or talking to people over there. He looked like he did very well for himself.
Well, his sales pitch got me. He didn't even give me a free t-shirt. I had to pay for it. So,
yeah, you would have thought the salary would have been enough, but hey, get what you can, right? It's a long drive home.
And that's what it is. I've learned a lot from you. I've learned a lot from Maddie Herman, Lucas, all the guys that have, you guys haven't been doing it for decades or nothing, but you always want to learn from the guy that's right above you. You don't want to learn from,
absolutely.
Jerry Seinfeld, for instance, couldn't teach me nothing. Because he's, what I mean? He doesn't, But back to the Heartland Comedy Cup.
All right.
Well, yeah, I guess I got to kind of introduce myself. They're like, who's this asshole?
Oh, yeah. Go ahead. Who is this guy?
JSTD had over here. Might have to bleep that out.
Probably not.
Yeah, so I was born in the northern fjords of Iowa, a little place called Clear Lake.
Well, everybody just tuned out when they heard that.
Yeah, this Norwegian piece of shit right here. No, I was born in Iowa, moved to Norfolk. I won't give you the whole long spiel. Wanted to do comedy ever since I was a kid. Adam Sandler's first debut album came out. They're all going to laugh at you, or is What the Hell Happened to Me? No, I can't even remember. I think it was What the Hell. Anyways, loved it. And years went by, and I won't dull you with that shit. And I didn't start doing comedy until 41. I just had a lot of doubt, a lot of you're only going to be funny around your friends. But I always had that burning desire to do it. I was like, if I wake up in a freaking nursing home one day and I didn't try comedy, Like I would not want to be any of the nurses taking care of me. You know what I mean?
Fair.
But yeah, reiterate what Clem said. Me and him ended up meeting up when I started doing comedy. I started doing karaoke bars, which, if you want to know how insane I am, that's where I started. But I tell you what,
Wow.
you know, if you can make a couple people in a karaoke bar laugh, you might have something.
Yeah, for sure.
And then went down to Omaha, met all you guys, all the Quick Draw crew. Been meeting, still meeting more comedians in the Nebraska scene. There's a ton of them. Nebraska's got a lot of talented comedians for sure.
In the first 100 episodes of Quick Draw, we had 136 different comedians on our show. And if you would have told me we would have had that many, I wouldn't have believed it. But that's just 100 episodes, 136 comedians. Great scene. It really, since I've been part of the scene in the last 3 years, it's been growing rapidly. There's a lot of opportunity out here. If you go looking for it, you got to look for it though, because the opportunities, they don't come to you. That's tip number 2, I guess. The opportunities don't come to you. Find the opportunities, chase them down. And if you can't find an opportunity, make your own show, right?
Exactly. And that's, you know, I didn't know what I was getting into, but I just came from it from like a, you know, put yourself in their shoes kind of way. Like, no one's going to book a new guy from Norfolk, you know? So how am I going to get
especially when it's not funny.
Yeah, ha.
Cheap shot. Sorry.
We're working on it. Yeah. It takes a while to get even 5 minutes. So anybody just thinking about wanting to try it, like it's going to take you at least a year, if not more, to get 5 minutes. Sounds crazy, but that's just the way it is. There's a lot of variables.
And the worst part is you're going to look back on that 5 minutes in a year from now and you're going to say, why did I say that? I should have said this. And you're going to keep growing that. Never be, never be happy. Always be looking for what's funnier on that joke. Always push it. You know, no joke is ever finished. It's never closed. There's jokes that my first joke I ever told on stage is now my opener, but it's not the same joke. It's evolved so much from that.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, same thing. I mean, I haven't had a lot of time to revise jokes, but I do it. I'm still trying to find my voice. I'm still trying to really find my persona and like my energy, still trying to find out everything. I'm green as can be.
Yeah, well, you found something last Saturday night on the roast battles. Man, you got a real knack for roasting people. It's really scary how good you were with roasting, right up until that last joke. You had one that just went a little too far and too smart for the crowd, but otherwise, that was probably some of the best roasting I've seen. I think if you would have gotten to the next round, you probably would have won the whole thing, I'd say, just looking at who you were up against.
Well, I used to talk a lot of shit. I wasn't always this nice guy, laid back guy. I used to, yeah. No, I grew up in a family, like my dad was in the military, that's just what we did. Like we roasted each other. We gave each other crap and yeah.
Oh yeah. For sure.
So yeah, we did some fall shows together last year. 4 out of 5 of them or 3 out of 4. How many did we do? Let's see here.
I don't even remember.
I think it was 4.
I think.
Yeah. So every one of them at Midtown went pretty good.
Incredible.
Midtown,
absolutely incredible.
Nofo Pizza. We don't talk about Nofo Pizza.
That was a rough night for everybody involved, including the crowd.
We maybe should have.
We learned a heck of a lot from that show. All of us did. Some things what to do and some things what definitely not to do. That was honestly probably one of my roughest shows I've ever been a part of. I left the stage so frustrated and disgusted at myself. And then saw all the other comedians having the same reaction from the crowd. I'm like, oh, well, it's not completely me, at least. This crowd just decided not to laugh tonight. I don't know why they came to a comedy show without any ambitions. The headliner was one of the guys that crushes harder than anybody I've ever seen. And I've never seen him bomb as bad as what happened that night. And it was just that crowd. They were not into anything that anybody was saying, except for the really filthy or slightly racial stuff. They were really into that. And I don't do that type of comedy. So I didn't relate very well to what they wanted.
Yeah.
And that's fine.
I won't tell the whole joke, but Lucas's reference about sleeping with a shadow, that was pretty funny.
Oh, Yeah, and the crowd, that was the biggest laugh of the night, I think. It really was. Oh, my.
So,
well, we've been talking a lot about ourselves. Should we talk about the Heartland Comedy Cup and what it is and what we've done so far?
Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. So we do the Heartland Comedy Cup. Heartland Comedy Cup is a comedy competition. Up to 12 comics will come and perform 1 7-minute set. We have 12 qualifiers every month, first Wednesday of every month. 12 comics come up, compete. Excuse me. We had 10 comics last month on March 4th was our first qualifier. Now, the winner of that we'll get to in just a second. But whoever wins these qualifiers now through February 2027 will then go into the championship, which the championship, big prize money. $10,000 whoever wins the whole damn thing. But that's not all you get out of this. We're currently calling home base District Event Center and working with Andrew McCarthy, the owner of District.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, he's been great. This kind of triangle we got going on here, it works.
Yeah.
It works.
Yes.
And we're all on the same page. This whole thing is about it's about audience first, comics first. Me and Clem, not making nothing off of this. This is to build the scene. We have high ambitions long down the road to where we want to take this thing. But until then, all about the audience, all about the comics, growing the scene.
That's right. That's right. And we had one heck of a lineup. I tell you, the crowd, that night was one of the most active crowds I've ever seen in a good way. There's some crowds that are active that's like bad and heckling. These people were on it, completely on it. I think this is the point where I want to show the video of Mecca, the guy who won the show. We had a really good crowd interaction from one table specifically. I had a really good interaction with him. Mecca had probably the best moment of the night with them, and we'll play that right here.
I had to stop watching porn.
No. Why?
You can't see her face. She was so like, oh no. She was so disappointed. Why?
Right?
Wow. Yeah. That lady. No.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh. And then Mecca's response with his African accent, just like, it was just perfect, completely perfect crowd work.
Did you notice?
That was a fun moment. That was a fun night.
Did you notice that he wanted to like hit the wall, but then he hesitated for whatever reason? It's like a brick wall. Like, you're not going to hurt it, dude.
Yeah. High five to the wall. But good grief, man. That was such a good reaction right there. Let's face it. That Mecca won that night. The crowd thought he won. The judges thought he won. I personally thought he won. And he had such a near perfect set that night. I don't think anything didn't land. All of his jokes came out perfect. It was one of those sets. I'm glad I got a recording for him because he could use that for festival and other club submissions. It's a nice thing about the 7-minute set is you've got, most, festivals and clubs want to see 5 minutes. And you've got a really well recorded 7-minute set. You can pull your best 5 out of that to get a submission tape. Even if they don't, I don't know what he would pull out of it. There was literally from start to finish, the crowd was just into it. And I think that's one of the big things that these comics are getting out, at least for now. I'm recording the sets, with all the equipment that I use for Quick Draw Comedy for our podcast. I'm just setting it up in the room, and taking my own time to edit it. I think I spent 14 hours, just getting the video together and getting guys clips. And he put that clip out that we just showed, and it's doing very well for him on social media. Not to mention, he got booked for later this month on the District Event Center, opening for Adam Carolla, which I go back to the Man Show when I was a teenager. That was a big part of my evenings is watching the Man Show, after South Park.
The Juggy Girls. That's exciting. Why I watched it. I don't know.
Oh, okay, gotcha. The girls jumping on trampolines.
Yeah, didn't he call them the
Heck yeah.
juggies or something?
Something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
I really wasn't paying attention to words. I was just watching the visuals at that point as a 14-year-old, just learning what all this was.
Yeah, I was probably looking for a tube sock, but
to each their own, I guess.
Me and my dad watched it together, so that didn't really happen. But he was in his underwear though. But anyway,
that was too much.
All right,
nice.
Cut that out.
We'll see.
No, leave it.
It's good TV. It's good TV.
Yeah. So yeah, all the I know I'm going to forget to name one of the comedians that were on it, but we had a lot of other good comedians on there too. We had Tyler Chapelier, we had Brian Jimenez. Feel free to jump in and tag one whenever you want.
Joel Simler, the prop comic from Omaha.
Yeah.
Joe, what's Joe's name from New Jersey?
Skroka.
That's him. He was great. I really enjoyed his stuff. We had Ethan Amberson, Midwest kind of legend in his own right. He knows how to work those small town Midwest towns, and he had a really, really good set, I think, that night. He's just a fun guy too.
Oh yeah.
Who else did we have?
Rashad Vaughn.
Rashad Vaughn. Yeah. He's the only black comic that I know that has a joke written specifically for Norfolk, Nebraska. And I've seen him perform it there twice, and it crushes every time. It's his crowd. For some reason, they really relate to him up there.
Yeah.
It was really cool to see.
He wrote it on the way up to our first show at Midtown with Chris Vincentini.
Sure. Yeah, and he wasn't even on that show. He just came up to show support for the other comics that are around us. That's the type of guys we want. The ones that will ride 2 hours to the middle of nowhere and then turn left and go another 10 miles. We like those guys that will support their friends and their fellow comedians. Rashad is actually recording a new special this July. It's going to be out probably in the fall. Pretty excited about that. I actually produced his first special, Just My Thoughts. It's out on YouTube, Spotify, SoundCloud, and pretty much anywhere else that stuff is. Check that one out. It's really good.
I didn't even know that.
Who did we miss? You didn't know that?
Missed like really? A lot of people. Let's see here.
I know. We had 10 comics there.
Austin Dolosky.
Absolutely. Yes.
See here. You said Tyler Chapelier, Brian Jimenez, Austin Dolosky. And of course, all the names are on my phone.
Sure.
And this is not that your guys' set was forgettable or something like that.
It's just that our memory sucks because we're both old.
Yeah.
In the comedy world, we're like the antiques. Not a lot of guys start in their late 30s or early 40s, and that's what we are. We're the antiques that we still have all the drive. We haven't been crushed by everybody putting us down for years, but we have life experience to talk about. So that's what makes us unique. With that,
absolutely.
I'm pulling up the list now. I don't want to leave anybody out. I just got to find this list and pull up who we got. Austin Dolosky, Brian Jimenez, Colton. What was Colton's last name?
Heller.
Something. Heller, that's it. From Lincoln, Nebraska. He said Joe. Oh, Dustin Becker, Jewish plumber from Omaha. He didn't get very good scores, but he got really good crowd reactions, and he had some family up there too. I was laughing watching the videos back. His family didn't look like they wanted to laugh very much, but then by the middle of the show, they were all like belly laughing. They were just enjoying themselves greatly. When they first started off though, they're all just sitting there like, I don't want to laugh. I don't know why I'm here, but they were belly rolling.
Suspenders, they're
in the overalls. Yeah,
overalls.
I think that's it. Mecca, Rashad, Tyler. Yeah, we covered everybody now. So
all right,
we didn't forget anybody. I don't think. Woo!
Yeah. We did some post interviews with them. They all liked it. It's a lot of work trying to juggle all this. Like we're both working on comedy, like our own stuff on stage. And then you're helping with the festival. You got Quick Draw and the number of other things you got. We're juggling a lot right now, but the point is that it all leads somewhere. And, I, getting into comedy, I knew I couldn't just take the traditional route, which is just Just be funny, write material, be funny.
Yeah.
Like, I don't have freaking 20 years to sit around and do that. So
yeah, I know myself. I don't have the ambition and drive to become a world touring comedian. I'm not naturally that guy. I'm funny enough, and I can put on a good show, but I don't ever see myself being the guy that can sell at Madison Square Garden myself. But, I can see myself being the guy that is a force multiplier for other comedians with, video work, marketing work, the shows like this, the Heartland Comedy Cup, my other shows, Gruff and Gritty, just giving guys opportunities to be on stage. And, the big thing that I think is, it's new for some of these Midwest scenes is paying comics in a fair way. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of producers out there that just either don't pay anything or give here's $5 when you just spent $8 in gas to get there and $5 parking, and you bought a $4 drink and they give you $5 at the end of the night. It's like, that's a nice gesture, but, I have a goal myself. I want to be paying our comics, $5 a minute, within 5 years. And I'm not there yet. I don't have shows that can support that yet. I started off $1 a minute. I'm up to about $1.50 a minute, $2 a minute, some shows, depending what it is. And we want to keep growing that. I want to make it fair for the comedians, because these guys, they shouldn't be selling their souls for nothing. They should be getting something for it. And it should be some money. It should be some good videos that they can use, stuff like that. And, I like to see myself as the guy that can help them out. And if I help enough people out and a few of them get famous, maybe they'll drag me along with them, or at least give me some money. I don't know, someday.
There's nothing wrong with, nothing wrong with saying that out loud. I mean, our long-term goals of the Heartland Comedy Cup, like, we want to put up satellite qualifiers all over the Midwest, and we want to pay other comics that have this, that are like-minded with us, that want to grow a scene and help out these comedians. And, and hopefully we'll be able to pay them some money through some sponsors and keep the show free. No submission fees. So if you're a comedian out there, you want to get your name out there, and you want to be on a competition that actually supports you, then come check out me or Clem here. DM us on Facebook
and get a good video at the end of it. No promises on the quality. We had some technical difficulties this last time. I want to get into that quickly. This is the first time I had ever used any software to do remote judging. And I picked the software. It was a remote software that would work well. But we didn't fully test it. And that was my biggest mistake in this entire first competition. We didn't test it well enough. We did I actually drove up. It's 2 hours from where I live to get to this place. I drove up the Monday night before. We did a full sound check with everything, but we couldn't get all the judges there. And the one judge that wasn't able to get there had some technical difficulties getting logged in. And then the other judge had some technical difficulties, but I didn't have time for a full sound check fighting through all of that. And in the process of that, by the time the show started, they couldn't hear the stage, which is a big problem for the judges. And then I was fumbling through, because I did warm-up work, so I was on stage while they couldn't hear it, so I couldn't fix anything. They missed my entire set. Who cares? Whatever. But then they missed most of the first comedian set, and that kind of hurt me a little bit. And I think it's something that we'll work on, but in the process of that, I also didn't get my cameras or my audio tuned properly. So the first 4 or 5 comics, until I realized there was a problem, their audio video wasn't the quality that I like to put out. It's still good enough that they could send for a submission. I've actually put some of them out myself on my social media and done very well with them, but it's not the quality I want to put out. But I think we both learned some things on this one. Yeah. They will be getting better. It was the first time recording in that room. I get to go back. I'm actually doing some video work for the Adam Carolla show there, getting some crowd shots and some promo stuff for the district. Very, very happy for that opportunity to be able to work with this new club. This club is the best opportunity in the Midwest. I've been telling comics around here, our Heartland Comedy Cup, I don't want to toot our own horn because it's not us giving this opportunity, but Andrew McCarthy was watching every bit of the comedy there. He's working the bar, and I saw him over there just peeking out, laughing through stuff. You could tell what he liked, what he didn't like. He's watching because he's trying to find the next features or the next openers, the host, whatever. This is a comedy club that does not yet have regulars. I don't know how to get through to people. This club does not have regulars. Everybody has an opportunity. All the big club have the guys they always go to, the ones that they go to. There's not a huge scene in Norfolk, Nebraska. And he has a few guys he goes to, but he's looking for more from what I can see. And I think there's huge opportunities. And he's been putting a lot of time, money, and effort into making this go for us and being a huge support for this. We couldn't do it at this level without him. We couldn't have had this big of a kickstart without him. Huge shout out to him. And also go check out the shows there. He's bringing in some really great talent through that little town. First time I walked down the street there, I'm looking at the people that he has on the flyers. I'm like, how does he get these guys? And then I realized he's a well-connected guy who's not afraid to spend some money to get good talent there to put on one heck of a show.
Yeah.
And the audio quality there, everything, just incredible.
His audience, they're all like, they're all comedy trained. They all go to his stuff. Like, he's got a huge audience and following built. So he sells out shows every time.
Right.
There might be some hit and misses, like when we did the show at Midtown, but you remember.
We did that though. Yes. We, you know how it is. If you can't beat him, join him. So he invited us to come over and help him. Right. Yeah. That was a tough night though. It was a snowstorm. There was a Husker game. And we was putting on a show right down the street, that, Justin here was marketing the hell out of. And, it was a tough night for them. And I think it probably got some attention. Who are these guys? What are they doing? And, it opened some doors for sure, I think. Yeah, I've been to 2 shows there now, both excellent shows at the district, and I will continue to keep going back. The nice thing is it's not a saturated audience either. There's a show every few weeks. It's not 4 shows in a weekend and 3 through the week, and this guy coming in for a night, this is the show we're doing. This is the entertainment, and then a few weeks later, here's another one, and you don't get, like with the bigger cities and the bigger clubs, you get the audience just kind of like burnt out, or you got to keep getting new audience. This audience is very loyal and keeps coming back because they know all the shows there are great.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I can't believe it. I mean, Andrew also helps out with the festival too. That's where we do the Friday night bar show.
Heck yeah.
Yeah. And we already talked about Charlie Barron's. He's coming. They sold 300 tickets in 45 minutes for Charlie Barron's. Yeah. Talk about a home run, yeah. Pat Jansen is our board
There's
president.
only 1,200 seats. There's only 1,200 seats. They sold a quarter of them in the first 45 minutes, which in Norfolk, Nebraska is incredible. Like, that's something that any town would be happy to have. But for a town of that size to be able to sell, what, 5% of the population's worth of tickets in 45 minutes it says something about the need for entertainment, the need for comedy, and the service that everything that we're doing is providing up there.
Yeah, in case you're not familiar with Nebraska, Norfolk sits up in the northeast corner, and it's the home of Johnny Carson. So
yes,
a lot of stuff. We got half a museum here dedicated to him. When we do the festival, we go over to his house and take pictures with all the comedians and everything. You'll get to do that because someone on the other end of this video is getting to host this Saturday night show, which I'm freaking jealous. But I thought you and Addie hosting was the best options.
Yeah. And, it just made sense for me to do the Saturday night show. Addie is a great comedian, an incredible comedian, but when it comes to clean comedy, it's not a specialty by any stretch of the imagination. Most of what I do, I can very easily change 1 or 2 words and it's clean. I don't consider myself a clean comedian, but I can do corporate work. I can do the clean comedy, really well. It's who I am. It's kind of just, I've always been inspired by, the relatively clean comics that are slightly edgy, that say some things that might make people like, ooh, is that okay to say? But they're not saying anything that I wouldn't want my kids or my grandmother to see. The Larry the Cable Guys, the Jeff Foxworthys, the Nate Bargatzes, those guys that do clean comedy so well that you don't even realize it's clean. That's what I want to be in comedy.
Yeah, exactly. It's crazy. So back to the Heartland Comedy Cup a little bit. We'll explain a little bit more in depth. And then I'll kind of let you guys know what I did wrong, which was a lot. So how we judge the competition, we use a 60-40 split. What that means is we got 3 judges, not from Nebraska, all industry professionals. They either have over a decade of experience in comedy, or they own a club, or they're a booker, or they teach comedy in some way. But we have them judge remotely. They're not paid. They're just taking time out of their day to help these young comics out and evaluate them. The audience gets a say in it too. That's 40%. The judges we had for the March one was, why can't I?
Dan Shank,
Jordan Yates, Dan Shank,
Jordan
and
Yates, Vicky Carey. Vicky Carey.
Yeah.
So out of those judges, 2 of them are booking shows in Topeka, Kansas. So once again, the comics that came there from the Midwest are getting in front of not just Andrew McCarthy with the district, but other, people who run shows and clubs. And we're going to keep bringing in guys like that. And, of course, Jordan Yates, known for being the cowboy guy from Nebraska that lives in Dallas from Kill Tony. I think he's wearing a shirt just like this one, actually, with a cowboy hat when he was on that show. A killer comedian has opened for Fluffy, Gabriel Iglesias, and just a genuinely nice guy is what I found after meeting him. All the judges were great.
He just did a show this last weekend with a Nebraska comic. Ironic. I did a show with him at Blackstone Theater. Brent Bradley. Yeah. That's crazy. Yeah. But this is all by design. So, I mean, that's why that's part of the reason we wanted to use the judges in the mix with the audience for voting to keep it fair. But we're like, hey, we can't use Nebraska judges because they know the guys. So let's get out of town ones, or out of state ones, excuse me. And by doing that, you're exposed to a wider, net of people that can snag you up if you're a comic. And then plus the judges benefit off of it too, because they get their face out there in front of a new audience. Like, I'll go ahead and tell you what we got for judges for this one coming up. We got Chip Chantry, the guy, Philadelphia comic. He's been doing it for years, used to be a teacher. But he also does, he did a special out in, or he did a show or a special out in Hawaii this last Thanksgiving. He's on the show Tires. He makes some cameo appearances.
With Shane Gillis? Wow.
Yeah, who knew? Yeah.
Incredible.
So Josh Day, he's another phenomenal comedian.
Heck yeah.
And then we got Bear Love. He's a comic from Iowa. He helps with the Comedy Cartel and Comedy USA groups. Both huge groups.
Heck yeah.
And
well-connected guy. Very respected, well-connected guy. Very happy to have him on our show.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Sure. Yeah. So, I mean, if you haven't got on what we're doing here, there's a lot of opportunities besides that huge 10 grand. Like, that'll buy you a new car, but we can get you some gigs that might get you further along and get you noticed.
Right.
I mean, you can lead a horse to water. You can't make him drink.
That's right.
We're giving you the water. Like, here it is.
Yeah. Yep, for sure.
Now on to the real fun stuff. What did I do wrong? Let's see here. We'll start off with hosting. Hosting, I thought I did okay in the moment, but then looking back at it, holy shit, I did not. Now, I've only hosted a handful of times before this. And that's been on my shows, which thankfully, there was a little hesitation to let me host this Heartland Comedy Cup, but I felt like, no, I need to at least try. So we did what, Clem? We let you do a warm-up set, get the audience going. This is a tip for you young comics.
Yeah, the warm-up set is key. If you've got a less experienced host, it's just good to put somebody up there to get that crowd going for them. The hosting is the most important aspect of any comedy show, in my opinion. If you've got a host that can't bring the energy up to start with or can't keep it going, then the show's going to suffer for that also. And I did 5 minutes. It was a good 5 minutes, but I think that crowd, I think you would have been fine without warm up, just the way they did. And you're being very hard on yourself. And yes, I saw there was flaws in the hosting, but it wasn't anything glaring that, there was no reason when you asked me afterwards, should I host the next one or should we find someone else to host it? There was no reason for me to say, no, let somebody else do it. And part of this is, you're going to get better. The more stage time you get, the more chances you have to host, the better you're going to get. If new comics get the hosting spot, do cold opens. The cold open spot's my favorite spot. If I'm hosting or doing warm up, I like to go up with no sound, no audio, no music cue, no announcement. I don't want anybody to know that I'm a comedian when I get on that stage. I go up there. Hey guys, did I hear there's a comedy show tonight? They don't know whether I'm the guy telling what the drink specials are in the bathrooms or if I'm a comedian. And I'll start off telling, hey, the bathrooms over there, drink specials are this, blah, 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 whatever. And then you get into some comedy and they start laughing and like, hey, this host guy is actually funny. He should be a comedian, not realizing I already am. It's a low pressure spot and a very good way to learn, how to run a room. As a matter of fact, there was a silent auction for the new Warehouse Comedy Theater. Shout out to, Rachel Ware, Tyrell Frazier, new comedy club opening in 2 weeks from when we're recording this, in Omaha, Nebraska. Great for our scene. It looks incredible. I haven't had a chance to visit yet, but looks incredible. But for their fundraiser, they did a silent auction where you get to pick your own spot on the open mic. And that was very valuable to me. So I ended up buying that spot, which helps them out with fundraiser. Last night, I was talking to Rachel Ware, and this is a new announcement that I don't know that Justin even knows. When she asked me, what spot am I going to pick? I said, I want to go up before the host. And she was startled, like, what? And I said, no, you said any spot. I want to go up before the host with no introduction. And she said, yeah, let's do it. So for the next 52 weeks, you're going to see me opening the Warehouse Comedy Theater's open mic every Sunday night at 7. And I'm very excited about that because 52 weeks of cold open is going to make me a much better comic than what I am now.
Absolutely. And, it might be uncommon in the U.S., but I think, Clem, you're the one that was telling me that up in Canada, that's how they do shows. Right?
Yeah, I've heard in the past that the Canadians, they'll put the host spot in the middle in a lot of it. At least in the 90s, they were doing that. I don't know if they still do. I don't really have any connections in Canada right now, but I've been told that, they might just do like a cold open or then they'll bring the host up to introduce the opener, but then the host goes in the middle of the show, which is very weird. Not something I would really do here. I don't think the crowds here can handle that weirdness, but Canadians are weird, so they can handle that stuff.
Freaking Canucks. Other thing that we've already kind of worked out, and I will remember for this time is, so I created an app for the audience to be able to vote, and it also has a judges portion on it too. It's got a key code, so audience members can't get in there and mingle with crap. But
right.
I forgot, because I was so in the moment, I forgot to give the audience enough lead time to actually put in all their votes. So only I don't know how many I think it was 30 something out of the close to 50, 60 that were there that actually got their vote in. But we explained it to the comics. We let them know, and it wouldn't have mattered anyways. Mecca,
no,
he had a pretty big lead. Not saying
he had enough
against,
lead. Yeah. He had enough, even if the rest of the audience would have voted for someone else, I think he still would have won. It was that big of a lead. He was so lovable that night. He did everything perfect. The other comics were great, but Mecca was near perfect.
Yeah. And let's shout out to Tyler Chapelier. He's been doing comedy less than me. And he got second. And that's because he's very meticulous with his writing. He's writing every day. I guarantee the guy writes more than I do. Guarantee
Absolutely.
it.
I've told him multiple times that when his stage confidence catches up to his writing and his natural performance catches all that stuff, he's going to be unstoppable. I saw that. I was actually the first guy to book him for a show, my show Gruff and Gritty at the Beach House Bar. I put him on, I think it was in January. It was his first paid show ever. And I make a big deal out of the first time comics paid shows. You give them their first dollar in comedy on stage and make a big deal out of that. Welcome to the comedy world. You have no idea what you've gotten into. I always say that. But I saw something in him. His writing is so good. And he's writing constantly. He would come to our open mic and he he would do a new 4 minutes every single week for months at a time. We're like, hey man, why don't you focus in on some of this other stuff? And he's like, well, I'm just trying to figure out what works. And it's like, I respect that, because you're getting really big laughs with a brand new 4 minutes every week, which is very tough to do. Very tough to do.
I've attempted it and failed a lot. But no,
Yes, you
Tyler, I think I'm probably batting like 20%. I don't know. So that would be like 200. So, 80% of the time I'm bombing, and that's a normal thing you'll get into if you're trying out comedy. You're not going to go out and crush every night. Like, not even like the big headliners, the Shane Gillises, they all bomb. The things that you see on Netflix, the specials, like, they record multiple nights to get the best night they can out of that. And
they've done that set 500-600 times by the time that they've gotten to their special, at least. Jerry Seinfeld said before he even goes on the road with a joke, he has done that joke, I think it was 200 times, just at local clubs and small rooms, just to see what works on that. And that, you got to put the work in. You can't expect to go up and get a big laugh every time, but when you put the work in, you know what works and what doesn't. You can be very predictable with most audiences of what works.
Yeah. And, you can learn this. You can learn it. And you got everything you need right at the tip of your fingers. There's endless YouTube videos, endless tutorials on how to do the business side and the comedy side, which I don't suggest to new comics taking on both. I did because I'm having a midlife crisis. But, definitely you got to learn both sides in order to navigate this. You got to know you're not getting screwed over. You got to know the host job. You got to know the club owner's job, the booker's job. You need to know every avenue of this, which takes a long time to learn. Yeah. And if you're not learning every time you're going up on stage, every time you're doing a show, if you didn't learn one thing, you're not invested enough. You should be able to learn something new every time. One thing I will is go back to Tyler Chapelier. He messaged me on Messenger, seeing one of the videos I posted, and asked me about how to get into open mics down there. And I messaged him like, come to the Dubliner, blah, 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 blah. He shows up his first night up on stage. I thought he was fucking with me. Like, I really did. I was like, this ain't your first time. There's no way.
Yeah.
You could tell he's had some public speaking experience, which Clem also has. And that kind of stuff helps. Do improv.
For sure.
Do anything that has to do with public speaking. Like, you can work on jokes. Go out to your bar and just joke around with people. If they laugh at it, take that and work it and use it on stage. It's, another tip I could give you too that I didn't start doing out right away because I learned it online. Progression journal. Just a daily journal of like how you think a show went, how your day went. Right. What did you eat? How much sleep did you get? What jokes worked? What jokes didn't? Record your sets. Record every single set. You'll hear comics will say like, I can't perform when I'm going to record. I'm like, well, how are you going to do a special then? You got to learn to be in front of a camera.
Absolutely.
And it's gut wrenching to watch yourself. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
I think this is all going pretty quickly, but I think it's efficient. I can't wait to see, like, last year was amazing. I can't wait to see what the end of this year and next year brings. I think everybody's kind of coming together and realizing that the politics, the comparing each other, it's a waste of freaking time. The more you think about that, the more you're worried about the comic over here and what he's doing, the less time you have to concentrate. And you just focus on you, but support each other. It's that Absolutely. Easy.
I always tell people if you're not going to support me, at least get out of my way.
Exactly.
Don't try to take me down because you don't like something I say on stage. Just get out of the way. Let me have my audience. You can have your audience. The town's big enough for all of us.
Exactly.
And there's some audiences that will connect so much better than with other people than me. And there's audiences that won't connect with other people that can connect with me. That FFA show, that was my people. I mean, that wasn't the first time I ever spoke for 300 farmers. I've done that my entire life. Talking at, different types of, I was part of several different antique farm equipment clubs in Maryland and Pennsylvania. And, it was nothing for me to talk in front of 300 farmers back then. And it was just very comfortable to get on that stage. And there's other comics that I know of that would never connect to those farmers. And there's certain audiences I would never connect to. Find your audience. Don't let one audience discourage you from never doing it again. I was very close to quitting a few different times just because they didn't like me. This isn't good. No, it's because I wasn't good yet. That's what it was. It wasn't that they didn't like me. I wasn't a good comedian. There's still nights where I'm not a good comedian. I'll admit that. We all have bad nights. We all grow.
Yeah. Yeah. I've had a handful of nights where and you'll get that as a new comic. Like if you keep grinding, you keep working at it, like eventually you'll hit one of these sets, whether it's at an open mic or a show, and you feel the audience. You can feel the energy. It's just like an ocean, and you're the boat, and you can freaking take them wherever the hell you want to.
Right.
And it's only happened a couple times with me, but It's awesome when it does. It makes all that hard work, all that stuff you put in, because I'll tell you, like me, for instance, I got a full-time job doing home care. When I'm not doing that, and even when I'm doing that, if I have a client sleeping or something, I'm always working on comedy. First thing I think about when I wake up, this might be sad to some people, but first thing I think about when I wake up, it's usually one of the last things I think about. I'm just thinking about it all day because it doesn't feel like work. I'm obsessed with it. And that's what you got to be. You got to be obsessed with it.
Right.
This is fine if you want to do it as a hobby, but don't be mad if it's not going anywhere for you. Like for every 5 minutes you're putting in on stage, you're probably putting in 100 hours off stage,
Sure.
And that's not a joke either. Like that's, maybe 100 hours, well, maybe 40 hours, but I know I'm working all day long with it. So does Clem. And that's why we're doing this podcast. That's why the Heartland Comedy Cup is here. That's why we got together, because we want to make something of this and we want to help other comics, because we see the holes in the system. The having to have so many social media followers. Screw that.
Sure.
Let's get these comics that should be getting noticed out there. That's what we're all about.
And it's okay to have social media followers too, because
yeah.
me and Justin have similar.
Media.
It's important. Me and Justin have similar starts into the production side of things. I was only 6 months into comedy when I started producing Quick Draw Comedy with Addie Herman. I had the absolute privilege of learning under him, the comedy business. He had been at it for a few years already. He had no clue on the tech side of things. And it was one of those, another coincidence. I had launched Low Gear Productions, LLC, my company, and I was trying to figure out what this company's going to be, with the only goal of me being full-time in comedy before I turned 50. I was 40 years old when I started the company. So I gave myself 10 years to make this company something that could be full-time. And I got to work with Addie. The production, the tech side's been something I've done forever too. Like, between churches and, farmer events, stuff like that. I've done these type things. That was natural, but putting into the comedy world was tough, and we worked together so well. And I feel like we're kind of doing the same thing, me and JST here, of, he's got a lot of ambition, a lot of drive, and I've got some knowledge to bring along, be like, hey, let's do it this way because of this, that, or the other thing. And then there's some stuff that, even with me and Addie, there's stuff that like, I don't think that's going to work. And then it does, because, we have different perspectives, different mindsets, and we got the same thing going on here, very different, upbringings, different backgrounds. Don't be afraid to work with people who aren't like you, because that's when you really start to hit a stride, is when you find people that are not like you that you can tolerate working with. And that's tough to do sometimes. And I'm very lucked out to find 2 different business partners that really are very different, but we can work very closely together very well.
We all bring something to the table. And not just us 3, not Addie, Clem, and myself, but every comedian, they all bring something to the table. Like Tyler, not to be tooting Tyler's wiener, but he was in sales. He did drama and all that stuff in high school. He's been in sales. So we brought him up to help out with the festival because we need sponsors to keep it running. And I think he's going to be a great fit for it.
Nice.
And that he's helped me with my stuff. Like I've been dabbling with crowd work. But he told me about closed loop crowd work. where you basically you get the audience member to say what you want them to say in order to deliver the punchline, is my understanding of it. And Addy, exceptional crowd work guy. Exceptional.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's quick on his feet. Yeah. What else are we
his
missing?
written material is even better, though. His written material is so sharp, so good. But, as the host of Quick Draw, he really brings something to that show that I can never do without him. He's so quick and just very good on his feet under immense pressure, sometimes bad crowds. He can bring them around really good. Very well. So our next show, April 1st, right? That's coming up in a few weeks, depending when I get this out. What is it? What time does it start? 7:30? Is that right?
Doors open at 7. Show starts at 7:30. We're doing 12 comics, so it'll be between the 90-minute and hour and a half, 2 hours at most.
And
we got some
heck
cool
of a lineup
judges
this time.
Yeah. And we'll post those at the end of the video with some links and stuff so you can check them guys out. And we'll put some of the past guys on this here too, and then you can go check those guys out as well. Please like and follow the Heartland Comedy Cup Facebook page. We'll also put a link in the description. And if you're a potential judge, you want to get your name out there, you got some experience with comedy, you want to help us Nebraska folk out, please hit up me or Clem. And if you're a comic and you want to get in on this competition, we'd love to have you. Only requirement is you've had to have been on a paid show. So your cousin that told you a joke at Thanksgiving that hasn't ever done comedy, tell him to get up on stage and get a paid show, then he can come out. So
there you go.
Yeah. All right, Clem.
Follow the Great American Comedy Festival coming up in June this year. Heck of a lineup on that. If you're in the Nebraska, South Dakota, Midwest area, let's just say the whole Midwest area, get out to that show. It's an opportunity to see some real huge comedians, some great shows, doing a lot of stuff in Johnny Carson's hometown. And follow Low Gear Comedy, Quick Draw Comedy. That's my two babies that I run, and JST Comedy here. Yeah, I think that's our podcast, isn't it? How do we end these things? I didn't know how to start, but I don't know how to end them either.
I don't know.
Is that how we end it right here like this?
Law and Order thing in the background. Dun, 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 dun. No.
We'll get sued for that, I think.
Okay. Well, how about we just farewell, young comedians. Come and see the Heartland Comedy Cup. Come check out the Great American Comedy Festival. June 17th or June 20th. Write some jokes. DM us, talk to us, come check out our scene, not just in Norfolk, but in Omaha too.
Yep.
In Lincoln, all over. Let's get comedy going.
Yep. Reach out if you got questions. I'm an open book for now. Have a good one, guys.
See ya.